I want to connect something, I can jump in through symbols. You can see here we have a bunch of symbols. These symbols come with normally open, normally close, all the different styles that you need. Of course, you can pick them here. This is a standard operated switch, push button, whatever it is. And then you can just drag and drop it down and it will place, it will number, everything. You can also set yourself some push buttons like these, where you say, okay, I want a normally closed push button rather, and it's going to enter a normally closed push button. So it's basically just different ways to call up the same symbols. After you've done this, we're going to use some special tricks in EPlane called connection symbols. These connection symbols actually make the difference whether you have a daisy chain or back to the source. An interesting thing is when you pull them down like this, just drag and drop, boom, the connection is done. You have a daisy chain between all these push buttons. You want to feed this line of power with some wires that come from a different page, from that distribution page. You will be using the interruption point. Here, interruption point, hit the tab button, it rotates. I don't know if you can see very well. We'll just get closer. We rotate, 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 rotate. And when we're actually on the spot here, we can choose whichever cross-reference we want to go to. Here, 24 VDC2 is the connection we want to go to. Now, sometimes this happens. Because I rotated this one. Typically, this one would have probably shown up at the bottom there. So I'm just hitting the control key, placing it there. And at the top here, I would have preferred a different rotation. I would have preferred simply this rotation, or I would have also been able to do a different kind of change, is change the display where the display shows up at the top or at the bottom. So either rotation oriented or display oriented, you can specify where the cross-reference will be shown, at the top or at the bottom of the arrow itself. And there we go, we have a cross-reference going back here to the page 224, 401 is shown here. I can jump back like this and that's done. Now the next step is to take care of terminals. Terminals are very simple symbols. They look like a small round dot, have a small tail. That tail typically indicates the inside of the panel. So the inside of the panel being on the right hand side here, I rotate the terminal, and this will ensure later that my terminal diagram, which is one of the reports I love to use, will determine where exactly this, I'm just going to call it JB1, where the push button or the PLC will be connected at the top or at the bottom of the terminal, right? Once this is done, fairly easy, you just take the project and you're ready to do the wire numbering. The wire numbering is a two-step process. First step is placing a wire number. When you do place a wire number like this, it basically places a wire tag everywhere where there is a standard wire. Now, another thing we want to do is number these wires. Very often in an environment like this, people will number what's on the left-hand side according to the source, like 224, and on the right-hand side according to the signal, so the I/O address of that particular PLC card. Now we can see here that by default, I wasn't really careful when I inserted them. This is a Rockwell card, and typically Rockwell cards have a specific way of addressing. They usually work like 00/00. Here, this feature simply flips them around to the Rockwell standard, which is I00/00, or whichever format you want. Now, this type of format, I will take over in the numbering scheme of the wire numbering. So here in the wire numbering scheme, now typically I could just go about and have it run, and it does the numbering, as you can see. But in other cases, I want to go a little bit further, and I actually would like to take over the wire number that we have. I want to take it over onto the terminal designation. This way, I don't even have to worry about the terminal designations themselves. So you can see here how it works is you have a standard scheme. In that standard scheme, you have two different wire numbering group, one for everything that's connected to PLCs, one for everything that's general, and on each of them, I have the possibility to adjust a few different things. One among themselves is the override terminal designation. When it's checked, what this